Hi, friends. Welcome to the Wednesday live stream at Dulcimer Crossing. Today we have a special guest. Brian Bohlman has been here before to talk about the relaxation videos that he's been creating. And he posted in the Dulcimer community about his release of a new album earlier this spring that was he talked about using the platform DistroKid, and it sounded very interesting. And I thought this is one of those things about performing and sharing music. We often wonder, how does that happen? So, welcome, Brian. I'll give a little context, but if you just want to say hi and tell us what's going on. Your life has changed a bit since you
Yeah,
were
yeah.
last here.
Good morning, and thanks for the invite, Steve. Yeah, I am partially retired, not fully retired. I retired from the military after 34 years of active duty in National Guard, but I still have a full-time job for another 6 years working with the Department of Defense as a civilian. So I'm looking forward to retiring again, but I do have a little bit more time to do things with music because I'm not traveling to Germany as often as I did the last 4 years. So it's good to be here and really looking forward to sharing this tool for people who want to take their music and get it worldwide. Very easy to do.
All right. Well, just a little bit of the context. Brian and I were just talking about back in the day, before there was really a PayPal, which that's kind of like dinosaur times, right? we I was trying to do this kind of thing, and one of the things that I discovered was there was no way to release music on the internet. And that's something that Derek Sievers, who created CD Baby, after the dinosaurs, the asteroid had hit and the dinosaurs were extinct, he figured out a way to release his music in upstate New York. And then friends around him said, could you help me with mine? And that's how he created CD Baby as a way of making our music available. And the business kept growing and growing, and then it came time when Apple Music was looking at releasing music that was going to be a shopping way to find music online, and they were only going to make this available to people who were in the big labels and the huge distributors. And he kept knocking and using crowbars and having telephone calls and email conversations with Apple saying, indies need this, indies need this. And he finally made that, they got an agreement that they were going to let it be the big boys, or the big dogs, and then the little dogs. And so then a bunch of us signed up, and he said, yes, this is going to be done. And there's going to cost some money to make some translations. So we sent it in. And after a year, Apple hadn't moved yet. So he sent us all our money back. He said, it's still going to happen, but I feel bad holding on to your money. So here you go. And when it happens, you'll be in. You're already in the queue. And it did happen. And it became a way that if you distributed this, if you release it with CD Baby, the music, it would go to all these different places. And now there's a much easier, quicker way that Brian has found to do that using a process called DistroKid. I still am with CD Baby. I don't have any problem with working with CD Baby. It's been very helpful for me. But every time there's a new tool that can do some stuff for us and provide an entry path, I'm excited to know about it. And so when Brian mentioned this, I said, could you come and tell us about this? So he's here to not just tell us, but to show us.
Yeah, I am going to upload a single that I wrote a couple months ago when I was at a Dulcimer workshop with Steven Seifert in Asheville, and it's called Valley Melody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, make sure that's working okay, and I'm already logged into my DistroKid account, and you'll see how easy this is to upload your own song. They prefer to have MP3s or WAV files, but what I really like about DistroKid is after I've been using this about 5 years now, and actually I started out with CD Baby 2, and then I learned about DistroKid. I think Jerry Rockwell told me about it. And there's other ones out there, but DistroKid is really one of the premier. It's very easy to use, it's very fast, it's efficient, it tracks all of your revenue and things like that. Very easy to use. And so let me just go ahead and are you seeing over here on the screen?
Yes,
Okay.
we're seeing inside your account.
Perfect. So what I'm going to do is this is what the DistroKid account looks like. I'm just going to show you the first tab, and then I'll tell you a little bit about these things over here. And Steve will put something in the chat for you to see the different levels. There's 3 different plans. I started out at the plan that was like $24.99 a year, and then that basically got me one artist, but I couldn't choose my record label. It just said like DK Records, DistroKid Records. So I upgraded to the next stage, and it gave me my own record label, which is Brian Bohlman Music. Then I decided, well, let's just go to the ultimate plan because I can create 5 different bands, and I'll show you a little bit of how I use this. But so here's all the different streaming platforms. Some of you are familiar with Spotify, probably the #1 streaming app out there. Also, you'll get it on Instagram and Facebook, Amazon, Apple Music, Pandora. These are all the ones that they currently have. They add more streaming platforms throughout the year as they come with agreements with these streamers. But these are all the major ones right here. Deezer Music, that's a big one over in Europe. So it's as simple as this. I'm going to upload one song, but you can see if I wanted to do 10 songs, I could easily do 10 songs. But I'm just going to upload one, so it's going to be a single. Now these are some things that are optional. I don't want to get too much in the weeds on this, but DistroKid will also help promote your music on social media, and you can read a little bit about this. I actually don't use this part of it because I have a monetized YouTube channel, but this might be of interest to people who are trying to get their music added and using social media to do that. So it asks a question, has a single previously been released? No. So this is what's the cool thing, artist band name. So you'll see Brian Bohlman is how I'm going to release this one, but for Christmas, Jerry Rockwell and I did an album together, and so I added his name on here. And they also have a project called Meditations of the Heart, which uses my music with someone who is reading guided meditations from Scripture. So that's a different, band, and it's all in my same account. But you'll see I have 5 different, and then rock soundscapes. That's another thing we'll talk about at another time, and then strings of heaven. But I'm going to go with Brian Bohlman. So if you have the ultimate plan, you can have 5 different band names in your account, but I'm just going to go with Brian Bohlman. One of the neat things, Steve, about this is when you create your account with DistroKid, you will get a check mark in Spotify as a verified artist, which is really nice. And so they know that you're legit. You also get something on Apple Music. So since I've released albums before, it already knows I'm in Spotify, I'm in Apple, I'm in YouTube Music, and I'm on Instagram and Facebook. If you're not, this would be an opportunity to link all your music to your social media profiles, which is really nice. So here it says, when do you want to release it? Now they tell you to release it at least 1 week in advance. This is going to be several weeks in advance. So I'm going to go down here to the calendar and just pick a date. Let's go with June 11th, Thursday, June 11th. And then it says, when do you want to release it? I always release it at 12 a.m. On the day of the release. And then it says, do you want it released in the listener's time zone at 12 a.m.? That's the default. I always go with that. And then here's a cool feature, pre-order. Some people will use this to market their song. I'm going to say, yeah, let's let people pre-order the release, and let's just do it the week before June 11th. Let's do it June 4th. So I'll give people 1 week to pre-order it before it actually comes out. Okay, so the record label is going to be Brian Bohlman Music. All my stuff is instrumental, so language is, I just leave it at English, but if you are recording with lyrics and you're using something different from English, then you would just choose your language down here. Okay, genre. This is where CD Baby, I actually like CD Baby a little bit better in this area, Steve, because they have more options. Basically, my music is relaxing, ambient, acoustic, but they really don't have that. So I have to go with New Age. That's about as close as possible. And then a secondary genre, I do folk. So that's the one thing that I don't like about DistroKid is they really need, in my opinion, to have more genres listed. Like CD Baby has a lot more than this, but again, if people know who you are, they're gonna really not find you under your genre. They're gonna search under your name, but this does kind of categorize your music. So this is pretty cool. Last night, I'm gonna stop sharing this screen and share ChatGPT because I needed a album cover for this, and so let me go in here. Let's see, I think it is, one second here. Let me go back to here. For some reason it's not showing me that other, okay, you should be seeing this again. I'm just going to upgrade or upload my file. It's not letting me go to that tab for ChatGPT, but I can tell you what I did is I went to ChatGPT and I just said, make me an album cover with the artist name Brian Bohlman and the song title Hominy Valley Melody, and I want a sunset with a valley in the background. And so let me upload the image. You'll see it over here, and you'll see how it came out. I think it really came out really well. And again, I did it in ChatGPT, so you can use that to make things. Let's see, here's cover art. Here we go. Okay. All right. Do you see it over here now?
Yes.
Isn't that pretty? So again, I could tweak it if I wanted to, but I really like the way this came out. So if you've used any of the AI tools for imaging, you can change it. The one thing you do need to make sure is that it's 3000 by 3000 square JPEG, and you can just put that into the AI ChatGPT prompt, and it'll make sure that it makes it in the dimensions. It'll get rejected if it's not a minimum of 3000 by 3000 pixels. So then you go down here and you give it a title. So we're going to go with Hominy Valley.
Oh, it is Hominy Valley. You said Hominy and I was hearing Harmony.
Yeah, it's Hominy Valley. It was actually held at a church in Asheville where Steve
Okay.
had this workshop. So I thought, well, I wrote it there. Why not use that name of that church?
Nice.
And then so this is not to get too complex, but if I was doing this with another artist, I could click on here and add that artist's name to the track. But since it's just me, I'm going to click no. Then it asks if it's a radio version. No, it's normal. There's a lot of other things you can choose if you click on other, but it's not in that category. And then this is really cool. People need to know what an ISRC, it's an international code. It's like a fingerprint for your song. Every song has a fingerprint, and that's what this is. It asked me if I already have a code. I don't, because I've never uploaded this before, but if you have it already in CD Baby or another platform, you can put the code in here and then it syncs it as the same song. So now it just asked me for my audio file. I'm going to go in here and grab it real quick. You can see it's really, if you've done anything on a computer, it's that easy.
And so if you don't already have an ISRC code for this track, it will assign one. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it will
Okay.
assign one automatically, which is nice, and it's free. It's included in your account. This is something that's really cool. Right down here it says master your track with Mixia. I've already done that, but depending on what type of DistroKid account you can get Mixia, which is an incredible tool to mix all of your music. It uses AI, and it does it in a matter of minutes, and you can hear the original version and then the mixed and mastered version. It's incredible. Highly recommend it. That's why I like DistroKid, is all the tools are built into it. And then it asks if it's a special audio, Dolby Atmos. I don't have that. Then it asks if it's a cover song or an original, which is really cool. And I've done some cover songs. I did one a number of years ago by the band U2. And DistroKid got the license for me to use their song, and it's $1 a month. So if you want to do another person's song, they have a way to do that, and then they handle the royalties if you're using someone else's song. But since this is original, I'm clicking that button. But they have those tools as well. There's no lyrics, so music, so I'm just going to type in my name. And then there's no lyrics, so there's no explicit lyrics. Radio edit, no. So instrumental, yes, this song is instrumental, contains no lyrics. I did not use AI to generate anything, but there's a question about that. And then this is pretty cool. If you want to have the streaming platforms, when they preview your song at a certain minute or seconds, you can tell them that. But I always say let the streaming services decide the best part. But if you want to say, oh, I really like this part of my song, you could click this and it'll let you decide what second to start and stop. So that's kind of a neat thing. And then it allows you to charge or to change the price. I just go with 99 cents, but it could be a 69 cent, 99, or $1.29. I'm just going to go with 99 cents. And then Apple Music requires you to put the credits in. So now you see all these instruments. You're not going to find Mountain Dulcimer in there, but you will find something that says stringed instrument. So I just use that because Dulcimer is not listed. And then so I'm the performer and I'm also the producer. And so I'm going to put that in here. And you've probably seen this when you do CD Baby. It's a little bit similar. So I'm pretty much done. Now these are optional. If you want to leave a legacy, it tells you it's a $29 one-time fee. This is something that has to do with a Discovery Pack. These are just read these later on if you decide to get the account. I don't choose these because I don't really need these, but they're options if you want them. And then you just select, I understand my music is going to be on YouTube. This is important that you're not going to use any promotion services like pay for streams. You're just going to have your music out there. There are companies that you can pay to get on playlists and things like that, but they use artificial streaming bots, and you don't want to do that. So you want to agree that you're not going to do that. That you've recorded the music, and you agree to all this. And then after that, it shows you your album cover. It says it'll be released June 11th. The record label, Brian Bohlman, pre-order June 4th, and everything looks good, so I click on done, and look at that. We've just uploaded a single track to be released on June the 11th and available for pre-order on June the 4th. Here's something that's really cool. They give you a page that you can click on and share with others. So it gives you a hyperlink up here, and so you can share this on social media, and people can go in here and pre-save the song on Spotify. They have an option if you're selling merchandise, you can sell merchandise through their store. So they really have some nice tools. And that's it. That's basically how it works. It's that simple. There are 3 different levels, and in the chat, Steve will put links in there. I have a referral link that will save you money, especially if you're a student or an educator. You can get this platform for 50% off. There's an annual fee, but you can upload as many songs and albums as you want. There is no limit. So one year I uploaded, I think, like 5 albums, so 50 songs, and that's what I really love about DistroKid is it's unlimited. I want to take a break just for a minute to see if there are any questions you have, Steve, and then I could maybe go back and show people some of these features up here about how the stats work. So if people want to see how their music is doing, there's all sorts of this. I just did a basic overview of how easy it is to upload a song, but there's some really cool things in the back end of DistroKid if we have time for that.
Okay, well, why don't you stop the share for right now,
All right.
so that your face looks bigger and friendlier than a little speck, and let's see if there's any questions that people have, and perhaps people have not thought about this kind of a way of sharing their music. In the Dulcimer community, we have some people that do a very active job of sharing videos of their performances, and some share audios. Some of that technology is beyond people's ken on the one side, and maybe their comfort level, because every time you push a record button, I don't know if this happens for you, but it sure does for me. I get hyper aware of everything that didn't go the way I planned it to go. And pretty soon, 27 takes later, I'm thinking, did I really want to do this? So I know that that's a piece of our internal processing for every one of us. Some of us, we're just, I don't care. It's me. You get me today, and that's the way it is. And we love that kind of sharing here because one of the things it does is inspire other people to think about what they could do, or to say, you know what, I can do that. I did run into some former classmates after I'd released some recordings who said, hey, look what Eulberg's doing. I could do that. And I'm thinking, I wonder if they thought I wasn't doing very well, and they thought they could do it not as well too. But, that's how my dad made it into college and medical school, was thinking the kid across the street is screwing off, and I know how to screw off, so I'm going to go to college and screw off too. And it turned into a career. So that is that way of sharing. This is a more focused way of sharing, and maybe we want to see the details. But if anybody has a question, or Anji's saying here, it looks simple even for a technically challenged person, and I think you've done a great demonstration about that, the accessibility of it. There might be a question that is unasked, which is, you have been sharing music on YouTube for quite a while. Did you start with YouTube and then move to broadening how people could get connected with your music?
Yeah, when I first started with CD Baby, which was like probably 2019, 2020. I always remember it was the beginning of COVID. So it was like
Mm.
2020, the spring of 2020. I didn't know about DistroKid. I only knew about CD Baby. And at that time, I was actually making physical CDs, which of course no one buys anymore. So quick plug, if you go to brianpullmanmusic.com, I have CDs for dirt cheap and free shipping. In fact, I'll give some away to you if you want. Just let me know if you still have a CD player. Hopefully that technology is coming back one day. But um, what I like about, to answer your question, is what I like about DistroKid is it's not just YouTube music, but all the other streaming platforms. Because most iPhone users will use like some type of Apple Music because it's part of their package. But Spotify is, I can tell you, when I look at my royalties, by far Spotify is like 20 times higher than all the other platforms. Pandora would probably be next, and then Amazon, and then Apple. I don't know what it is about Spotify, but people listen to my music. And of course, Jerry Rockwell has a huge following on Spotify, and he's put some of my songs on his playlist, which I'm very grateful. So I really like it. And the nice thing is, it's for the cost of like less than $100 a year. It's huge. All the tools you get, you can do it all in the convenience of your home. The mixing and mastering tool, it replaced another one that I used called emastering.com. Now I just use this because it's built into the system.
All right. Um, I think there was something in there that caught my attention, and then I went on to the next thing you said. So I'm a little bit of a dog chasing the squirrel every time it pops up. Uh, so I'll have to see if that pops back up again. I have put both your Facebook link and your website link in the chat as well for anybody who wants to, watching now or watching in the archive later, access you. Um, and Lance is asking, do you have thoughts on Bandcamp? Do you know, I know I use it, but have
Yes.
you, tell us about that for you.
Yeah, I do use Bandcamp. In fact, let me just pull that page up real quick. I started using Bandcamp probably around the same time I started using this. What I like about Bandcamp is, again, it's free, and you can, so can I share my screen real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So this is my Bandcamp page. You should be able to see it over here. So you'll see I haven't uploaded all of my albums, but what I like about Bandcamp is you can easily upload all your stuff and sell directly to individuals, and they can download your music, or they can stream it from the app. So Bandcamp actually lets the person download your WAV file, when they purchase your song or your entire album. And I know that I've got an option for like it's like 65% off all my stuff if someone wanted to buy. I mean, that's like the best deal. You get everything I've ever done and it's like 65% off, and you've got like 300 songs. So I do like Bandcamp. I do have a lot of music in here that you can look at. Yeah, so for 72.45 you get everything I've ever done, everything, and you can download all the files. And so yeah, I like Bandcamp. I haven't made too much on that, maybe $300, which is not a lot over the last 5 years, but it is a nice tool for people getting out their music because you get this platform to host it on and to sell it.
One of the other things I like about Bandcamp is it's easy to add a video. If you've got a video of the song, it doesn't have to be the exact track. It's a performance of the song. It's easy where you have this video, the image of the Memorial Day Monday. That is where if you would have a video that's a part of this, it would show up there, and the other stuff would show up below it. So it's easy to connect the two, which was not something I looked for, but it was there, so I use it.
Yeah, I'm glad someone asked that question about Bandcamp. For someone who's just starting out as an indie, like huge, great way to do it because, again, it hosts everything for you. Their fees aren't bad, and I think it's the first Friday of the month they have Bandcamp Friday where they all the revenue goes to the artist. They don't take out any fees, which I think are usually 15% or something like that. So that's a really good platform.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that question, Lance. Do you want to take us back to the other little metrics and things that are at the top of the page?
Let me share that real quick. And I know we don't have too much time. I mean, I've got a little bit more time, but are you able to see this here?
There it is. Yes.
Okay, so these are stats for just Spotify. You also can look at them for Apple Music or Amazon and iTunes, but just Spotify. So these are all the albums and tracks. I could go in here if I wanted to and select like a specific album if I wanted to, but let's just, for the heck of it, let's just look at all of them for right now. And it tells me over the last year I've had almost 250,000 streams, and then it breaks it down by 90 days, 30 days, and the last 7 days. Then you can scroll down. This is a neat tool. It'll tell you where your streams are coming from. So most of them from the United States, then Canada, Germany. That was probably some of mine when I was over there a lot the last 4 years. And then it'll tell you, are people listening off of a playlist? Are they listening offline, online, on a cell phone, on a tablet? So it's amazing how detailed this gets when you go. And another thing is if you do a song with another artist, you can do what's called splits. So you can go in and tell it, hey, I wrote this song with Jerry Rockwell. Send him 50% of the royalties every time royalties are made, and it does all that. It does all that automatically. So it's huge. And then, like I said, I'm at the. If you click in here, these are the different plans. So I'm on the ultimate plan, which is the $89.99 if it's annual. But you get some incredible things. There are other plans. The musician is the one that's $24.99, and then there's the Musicians Plus, which is $44.99. And you can, I would say for people, start with the musician, which is just the $24.99. However, if you want your own record label, like Brian Bohlman Music or whatever you're going to call it, and you don't want the DK records, then get the Musicians Plus, because that allows you to actually create your own record label, and you get 2 artists as well. So you can customize your label name. So I would definitely tell people to check out the different plans, start at maybe the basic one and then work their way up. The nice thing is they will, if you've already paid for one, they will prorate and let you pay the difference when you upgrade. So that's really nice. And then one more thing, I'm going to click back here on My Music. I have a lot of, remember I told you about guided meditation, so these are things that are coming up in the future. So here's a bunch of guided meditations that are going to come out. These are some other albums that are going to come out later in the year. So you can program and upload for things coming in the future, which is really nice. And probably one of the best things, and I'm not ashamed to say this because I donate a lot of my proceeds to charities. You're seeing what I've made over the last 5 or 6 years, almost $10,000, and it breaks it down by streaming service. So you can see Spotify is a lot of money, and then iTunes only 141, but it tracks everything, and so it's a really really nice tool, and you can get paid via PayPal or you can have it directly deposited in your bank. So it's a great place to start. I did not think that this would generate money for me, and then when I started getting tax forms, I realized, oh, I need to start saving my receipts because this is not a hobby anymore. This is a legitimate business. So yeah, I've really enjoyed DistroKid, and I highly recommend it for anyone if they're just getting started or they've been doing this for a while and they want to compare it to other distributor platforms.
I said excellent right after I muted myself. Thank you, Brian. This has been very informative, and this will be archived here in Facebook for a month, and then Facebook dumps the videos.
Okay.
So it will also be in the live stream archive, which we have available for all Dulcimer Crossing members. In the and I think this will be in the tools section. We have several different modules in that whole course that now has over 190 hours of content in it. But this will be in the tools side because it is very definitely a tool to share our music. And I really appreciate your willingness to share what you've experienced, but even more the sharing of your music, because it really does. You have talked about it in terms of relaxation and the spiritual centering and all of those kind of things that I know a lot of people in the community have as one of their motivating factors. So I think this is one of those wonderful tools to have available for others to share their music as well. The one other thing, and this is that little squirrel that ran across before, when you talked about working with Jerry, on Spotify, it makes a huge difference if other people share your music. And if you're part of other people's playlists, and one way for that to happen is to find other people who are doing something like what you're doing and share their music with the people who follow you and build the web of connection, which is what we want to do for mastering the art of dulcimer in this community, because we're all stronger together than we are separate. And so last words, Brian?
I have a Dulcimer workshop that's coming up. Some of
That's
you may
right.
not know that the Black Mountain Music Festival has been canceled this year. Keep Chuck Mosley in your prayers. He's fighting some health issues, but he's going to be better. And so we're just remembering him in our thoughts and prayers. But since that's not happening this year in October, I'm having a very small workshop here in my studio for 8 people. Kirk and Judy House are coming down, and Angie Grady as well. And we're going to do a great workshop. I don't know if you can put that information out somehow.
That's what I'm getting ready to share right here, so it'll be part of the video, but let me stop that and try sharing again with it open.
Let me stop sharing mine.
Okay, and there we go. So here is the poster for the workshop, and this is gives me a chance to reinforce that one of the rules for the community is we always let people know if this is a in-person only, online only, or some kind of a hybrid where there's an online component. And this one looks like it's an in-person only. Is that correct?
It is in person only,
Okay.
and it's limited to 8 attendees. So there's a hotel right up the road from my house where people will be staying. What's exciting about this is I'm offering people private recording sessions. So anybody who wants to record their music will come in the studio here, and that's part of the workshop. You can sign up for different time slots over the 3 days that we'll be together, and you can record whatever you want, and I'll give you your MP3 or WAV file mixed and mastered, and then you can take it and put it on DistroKid and share it with others. So that's the one thing I've kind of found a niche in the community to offer these at different workshops and maybe festivals one day, where I travel and set up a small portable studio for people to come and record with me, because I enjoy it. I've learned a lot about how to do this. It's thousands of dollars if you go to a professional studio to get recording time, but I literally do it for pennies, and I enjoy helping people because that's how I got started, and I learned through YouTube videos and talking to other people who had done this. So yeah, we'd love for you to be a part of it. You'll see there's actually a second page on that that has the workshop descriptions, but Kirk and Judy are doing multi-part arrangements, and they do a lot with the National Orchestra, Dulcimer Orchestra, so
Yes.
they're looking at doing that. Angie has a great workshop on singing with your dulcimer. She's a wonderful vocalist, and how do you do that along with your dulcimer playing? So she's doing that, and then I'll offer the recording time.
All right. I believe what I need to do is I'll see if I can add that into the chat, those links, or the links to the files. They will certainly be a piece of what's in the archive in the course.
Sure. And if people go to brianbohlmanmusic.com, they'll see the registration for that workshop. This has been a lot of fun, and I look forward to maybe doing this again on a different topic that would be of interest to the community.
It's great to have you.
I'm glad the technology worked. I got to show you my shirt real quick. Isn't that cool?
That is great.
Yeah. You wear that out in public and people are like, I've never seen that instrument, or I saw one of those once at a festival. So it'll probably get some conversation when I go into work this afternoon.
Yes, excellent, excellent.
Well, thank you for your time. And if anyone has any questions, they can reach out to me through my my website page and just send me an email. I'm glad to kind of help people along. And at some point, I want to offer some type of Zoom workshop on this topic, because I know we only had 30 minutes, but I want to help people get a little bit more in depth with how to use the technology. But save some money, use the links, and have fun.
All right. Thanks a lot, Brian. We have come to the end of the month here it's the way the calendar goes, right? Every month we come to the end of the month. Next week will be June. And, or is it? Yeah, it is. Because next Monday is the beginning of June. The end of next week is the Quarantine Festival, Dulcimer Festival for the summer. All those workshops, there's a deadline to sign up. You got to sign up by this Saturday. And there are some still seats open for a lot of different people. And I don't know if that's going to be one place where you might be able to offer something in the future too, Brian.
It's definitely on my to-do list, yes.
Excellent. And there will be vending on the Thursday of next week, not tomorrow, but in a week, for the vendors who are supporters and sponsors of the festival. And that's a real easy way to get all around the country and visit all the people who do the different things that choose to support this festival. And Dulcimer Crossing will have one there as a vending room there. So come and see me if you want to ask some questions or you want to get a backstage tour of Dulcimer Crossing. But we're really excited to be with you today. We want to make sure that you are encouraged and equipped and supported to master the dulcimer in whichever way that you do it. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Keep hammering and picking.
Take care.